Sabah al-khair alaikum. I'll be super brief. This is going to be like a 10-minute quick press. So I'm just going to talk about Facebook, the mission, how we think about developers, how we think about interacting with communities, and what are we doing for communities in the region. So I'm part of the platform partnerships team, and we deal with everything that has to do with partnerships and external relations. So 1 year ago, I think I was only a few months into the job, and I decided to come to DevOps. Because DevOps for me is like one of the most hyped events in Morocco, a lot of value, a lot of devs, a lot of beautiful faces. And for me, that was like my first ever speaking gig as a Facebook employee. So I came here and I was like, all right, let's see what's happening. Like, before I joined Facebook, I was there. I was in the audience. Like, I give tech talks sometimes, but as a Facebook employee, I was like, okay, let's actually take a step back and see the conference and the ecosystem from the corporate world. So I got to meet with Muhammad. He's somewhere, yeah. So I met with Muhammad, and he's a super active guy. He leads the Docker meetup, the Jug meetup. He was one of the founding members of DevOps Morocco. Like, he's the community guy. Like, he's a dream. So I sat down with him and I was like, okay, so we're friends. How can we help? Like, how can Facebook help? Or how can Facebook actually accelerate the growth of the community? And we had a very, very long conversation, and basically at the end of the day, I ended up creating a group called Facebook Developers in Casablanca. So I created the group, and then I asked him to, invite a couple devs, make the group as like a Q&A group if people need help in like Facebook technologies or any kind of technologies. And back then, 1 year ago, the company mission was this: give people the power to share and make the world more open connected. And obviously it's been updated since then. So created the group, which later became the Developer Circle community. Now it's like 3,500 members, and we end up actually creating a global program, which is this one, the Developer Circles program. So we announced the program in last F8, and it was a big announcement and a kind of a pride moment for me, because one of the two pilot DevCs or pilot programs were Casablanca and Tunis, and there was Lagos. So we launched the community, and fast forward today, we're at 96 communities in 50 countries, and these communities actually are reaching 75,000 developers. Like, 75,000 developers are either part of the group, attending regular meetups, or contributing back. So how about MENA? I mean, like, we've been to some unexplored territories when it comes to ecosystems and been positively surprised. So we have 9 DevCs in MENA: Morocco, Tunisia, Palestine, Egypt, Lebanon, Jordan, Algeria, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and probably more to come. And for MENA, it's 11,000, which makes it, I don't know, like, what's the ratio there? So back to the original question: what does it take to build community? We haven't found the secret recipe yet, but there is a very, very interesting concept in economy. It's called the multiplier effect. So any economy nerd here? One. Okay. So the multiplier effect, basically, the principle is very simple. It says if we have an impact on a very, very small variable that has an exponential impact or exponential growth or exponential deviation, then that's a multiplier effect. Think about the ways governments invest in roads, which facilitates transportation, which facilitates merchandises being transported, which unlocks new economies, which contributes to GDP. Like, as simple as building a road, increasing GDP of an economy. And so the multiplier effect might be as well what we actually need to build communities. So we shifted the whole company mission last August, I think, and we transitioned from making the world more open connected to give power to the people to build communities and bring the work closer together. Because that's actually where the value is. The value is in trying to figure out what already works, what different communities are there, and how can we enable those communities to scale. So the way, this needs obviously everyone to be a multiplier, starting from us, starting from big companies. So what are we doing actually to accelerate this growth? So the way we think about communities is through two sides, programs and products. How can we build programs at scale that contribute? And how can we actually build products that, at the very core, there is a community component? Think about WhatsApp groups or Messenger groups or Facebook groups and events and so on. So program, I'm just going to quickly go over what happened in the last year. So last year, there has been a revamp of the FB Start program. So FB Start is a way for us to give tools, give community access, and give mentorship to startups, either a small-scale bootstrap startups or high-growth startups. And this is through different partnerships that we have with all these guys. Yeah, basically you apply to FB Start and then you get access for free to up to 1 year to all these services, plus Facebook ad credits and access to other FB Start companies. So if you're running a mobile startup or a startup that operates on Messenger, you can just apply to fbstart.com. And last week, who knows Musical.ly? Okay, Musical.ly. Musical.ly is a fun app. They've been part of the FB Start program in August 2016, and they've been acquired by $1 billion. I'm not saying that if you apply to FB Start, you're going to be acquired by $1 billion, but you might as well. The second thing is something super exciting. So AI Masterclass. So we have at Facebook something called the Facebook AI Research Lab. So it's based in Paris, and it's where all of our AI works and machine learning works is being done. So we're thinking, so we have that, we have engineers that are passionate actually about spreading knowledge. How can we link that with the developer circle community? So we launched this AI Masterclass program, which hosts AI talks and live Q&As with Facebook Fair engineers every 2 weeks, I think. So the next session is going to be, for DevC Casablanca, is going to be next Wednesday, and it's going to be about speech recognition. VR Labs is something in very, very early stage. So this is a pilot program thinking about how can we bring VR and AR technologies to local tech hubs. So we did one, like it's a physical space. We have one in Egypt, one in Tunisia, and one in Nigeria. And we're still thinking about ways to scale this and what's the value to everyone. F8. So F8 is probably the highlight of the work that we do as the developer partnerships team. And last F8 in particular, I was like super happy because there has been a lot of MENA exposure. So starting with the F8 meetup. So we've had, I think, 25 meetups in EMEA and 10 in the MENA region. And these meetups are being run by local communities. There has been, I think, 6 or 7 companies from the region that were launch partners for our new products. And there was this, private roundtable with our top execs and some of the companies, some of the global companies. And 2 of these companies actually turned out to be a Jordanian company and Tunisian company. So Jordanian company, MindRockets, and Tunisian company, InstaDeep, and both operate in the AI world. Bots for Mission Challenge. This is, again, a developer challenge that we run for like a 6-month period, end up having 1,000 submissions, and there has been a winner from Morocco. And then we recently announced the DevC Community Challenge, and this is actually a challenge for developers to build developer tools by leveraging at least one Facebook technology. Yesterday, actually, we had like a mini hackathon for the developer challenge with some small prizes, and yeah, hopefully we'll have more winners from here. All right, and the second aspect is actually the way we build products. So products, that's the whole Facebook family of apps. And just to showcase and highlight some of the cool use cases actually that turned out. So here on the screen is Murad. So Murad is, I think, 23-year-old Moroccan. He's from Tangiers, and he's been volunteering this service called Tarjimli. So basically, Tarjimli is kind of a smart idea. So it links volunteer translators with refugee families. So Murad helped this refugee family from Syria to relocate to San Diego, just by helping them translate stuff. Azkarbot. So Saif, 21-year-old developer from Egypt, he built a messenger bot to, well, send daily prayers. Saif is reaching more than 600,000 people per month, or per day. And Saif is a true multiplier. Also, Murad is a true multiplier. Hisham, who's been operating Salat First for a while, built a messenger experience for Salat First, and reaching out people and sending calls to prayers 5 times a day. Hisham is a multiplier. So the way we think about our 10-year roadmap, I'm not going to go into the details, but the way we think about our 10-year roadmap is how can we incorporate everything that we do when it comes to technologies, AR, VR, AI, and connectivity, products, and ecosystems to our core mission. How can these technologies bring the world closer together? So to close with, again, the core question was, what does it take to build community? The answer is obviously multipliers. So my ask is, try to figure out ways to be multipliers in your communities. It's from the students who gives talks about Docker technology to the guy who runs like a club in his school, and so on and so forth. So thank you so much, and enjoy your DevOps.